So very warm welcome, namaste to all the alumni members who have joined us on 16th of August at 4 p.m. on a Sunday. इस चीज को आप तक लाने के लिए काफी काम बैकग्राउंड में टीम ने किया है, बट जो बेसिक आइडिया था कि हम लोग काफी टाइम से काफी जगहों पे काम कर रहे हैं, बट एंगेजमेंट की लेवल से एक फीडबैक था कि एंगेजमेंट हमें बढ़ाना चाहिए। तो आज जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, हम एक वेबिनार सीरीज का लॉन्च कर रहे हैं। इस वेबिनार सीरीज को हमने अभिव्यक्ति का नाम दिया है और आज पहली अभिव्यक्ति हम अपनी एल्यूमिनाई के साथ ही शुरू करेंगे। जो अलुमिनाई ने मंथन, जो हमारी पहली मैगजीन भी आज लॉन्च होगी, उसके अंदर लिखा है, उनके कुछ आइडियाज सुनेंगे और आप लोगों के साथ इंटरैक्ट करेंगे। सो विद दैट ब्रीफ बैकग्राउंड, NIRD अलुमिनाई एसोसिएशन की तरफ से मैं आपका स्वागत करता हूं और दीपा से रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि अभिव्यक्ति के बारे में हमें थोड़ा सा बताएं और सेशन को आगे बढ़ाएं। दीपा, आप शायद म्यूट पे हैं अगर आप बोल रही हैं।
Yes, sorry. Yes, thank you so much, Nanish, and welcome everyone. So as Nanish has already mentioned that we are in the process of launching Abhivyakti and Manthan together. So yes. So जहाँ तक सब लोग को थोड़ा ध्यान होगा, we have started this journey or we are like asked about your preference of online series or this talk series through the online survey. So we are really glad that many people have responded so well, and then they have like given their multiple preferences and choices. But yes, we are still hoping that many people will like come forward and volunteer for and then respond more actively. So there are like few things. The two names which were like more preferential for the alumni was the name first preference was Samvad and Abhivyakti, but we have like discussed in our team a lot, and then ऐसा हुआ कि एक institute ने already संवाद तुरंत एक वीक पहले लॉन्च किया था, and I was like getting so many mails from the name of संवाद, like and they're like marketing पूरी संवाद कितनी हाई होगी, they're like कि हम ऐसा ना दिखे कि हमने भी सेम चीज बस कॉपी कर लिया है. So we decided to go with the second best option क्योंकि बहुत कम मार्जिन था उसमें, तो we like decided to have अभिव्यक्ति. And then alumni में से almost 10 लोगों ने volunteer किया to work on Abhivyakti as a team. So the name Abhivyakti, the logo is designed by जो PRM 15 के हैं Kuldeep Dhere. He designed the logo. He worked really very wonderful job. And then there's a task significance to this. So we'll be showing the video. You all will get to know what is the significant attached with it. And I was like very glad because when we have asked about some preferences now, so people have like given the most almost more than the 50% people have given their preference for the talk on livelihood, social entrepreneurship, startups, and social development issues. And there are a significant number of people who have also responded for the research and documentation, movements and rights. So they're like mixed of these things. So the team has already started working on it. We have like thinking to working on the database, like what we have already of all the alumni we have. And अभी जैसे मंथन की बात करें तो मंथन में the people who have contributed, तो ऐसे ये प्लान हुआ. So ये एक आइडिया जो हम रेगुलर मीटिंग में बात करें तो एक वेबिनार सीरीज का आइडिया है, एंड देन मैगजीन. सो जब ये सारी चीजों को मिला के हम देख रहे थे तो ऐसा लग रहा था कि ये दोनों फोरम मैगजीन प्लस अपना ये वेबिनार सीरीज, हम इसको बहुत एक्टिवली बहुत अच्छे से लेके चलते हैं, वी कैन इंटीग्रेट लॉट मेनी थिंग्स. एंड विन मैत्री जब हम साथ में मिल रहे हैं, मंथन हम साथ में लिख रहे हैं, एंड देन अभिव्यक्ति भी हम साथ में बातें कर रहे हैं. So by doing, by writing, and by saying everything, we are trying to integrate all these things. So I see a very, very good integrated forum for all of us. so we can work together. It may give us lots of opportunities to collaborate and to integrate with each other. So yes, in our first series of this webinar, we are like launching Manthan, and we are very, very proud and glad for that. Like, yes, we are like making it, like we are like working day in and day out, and in the end we are like having it. And we are so eagerly wait to hear you, the authors, the writers who have like contributed, who have like worked in the field so much. Their ideas are really amazing. So yes, we are looking forward for it. So I just request Rituraj to play a small video for this, and then I'll request Vibhu to take over it and just introduce the magazine, and then we'll take it further. Thank you so much. Sound is not here, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, hello Ritu, you need to
Sound is
enable
not there.
your audio sound.
Okay.
Stop screen sharing. When you screen share again, you'll have an option.
Till the time Ritu shares it, जिन लोगों ने अभी हमें ज्वाइन किया है, we are pleased to welcome you all. आप सब लोगों का अभिव्यक्ति के पहले सेशन में वेबिनार सीरीज में स्वागत है. हमने अभी जस्ट बात की, अभिव्यक्ति की, और उसका एक छोटा सा वीडियो ऋतुराज आपके सामने शेयर कर रहे हैं. Thanks, Ritu. I think there was some technical glitch in the video, but we have shared this video on all social media handles. Basically talks about what drives the whole idea beyond behind Abhivyakti. So without much ado, over to the project lead for the e-magazine, finally here. With a round of applause, Vibhu, over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, thank you everyone. हाँ, मतलब काफी इंटरेस्टिंग जर्नी थी. कैसे इसका बैकग्राउंड हुआ, I would like to start with a story, small story. So like when I was living in Berlin, and then वहाँ पे क्या लोग स्मॉल टॉक करते थे. तो स्मॉल टॉक करते थे, हम लोग जाते थे, हम लोग भाई, मैं वैसे भी आप लोगों को पता है बिहार से हूँ, हम लोग के पास स्मॉल टॉक करने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा कुछ होता नहीं है कहानी. तो स्मॉल टॉक कैसे करते, तो वो स्मॉल टॉक करने के लिए वो किताबें पढ़नी शुरू की थोड़ी बहुत, कि भाई ठीक है हम भी स्मॉल टॉक में पार्टिसिपेट कर पाए. सब लोग भाई कोई यूएस से आया है, ढाई है। अगर आप दूसरे ट्विटर पे फॉलो करो तो पता चले 15 आर्टिकल्स लिख चुका है, समथिंग लाइक दैट। सो वो जो स्मॉल टॉक की जर्नी थी, इनफैक्ट चंद्रांशु और रेनू है इस कॉल पे, आई एम श्योर they will relate to it, like how bad we are in doing those small talks. So that's where the journey started कि ठीक है, ये पढ़ना और लिखना जो है इसको थोड़ा सीखते हैं कि कैसे कैसे करना है। तो वहीं से थोड़ा पढ़ना शुरू किया और थोड़ा लिखना शुरू किया, एंड एट द सेम टाइम हम लोगों ने उस टाइम एक बुक कॉन्सेप्चुअलाइज किया, और वो एक रियलिटी बना। और तभी मैं सोच रहा था कि एक हमारे एनआईआरडी एलुमनाई के लिए भी वो बुक करेंगे। सो थैंकफुली द बुक is now a reality. I mean, lots of people have contributed to it, like everyone, editors, सबसे importantly contributors who actually contributed, and contributors who after lots of follow-ups also did not contribute. So thanks to them as well, and maybe they'll contribute in the maybe they'll contribute in the next edition. I really look forward to it, and the laptop and then other technology works in the next edition. So yeah, without further delay, I would request Rituraj to play the small video that we have on Manthan. I hope you enjoy reading it, and I hope you enjoy like writing it for the next edition of it. Yeah, Rituraj.
Thanks, Bibu, for giving us a small peep into Manthan. गाइस इतना आसान नहीं रहा है। आई थिंक ये जर्नी कोविड का एक पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट ये है कि हम इसको कंप्लीट कर पाए कोविड के रहते हुए ही। शुरू तो हमने किया था कोविड के बाद ही, बट आई थिंक even as an alumni, हम लोगों का it's been a process of coming together, and Manthan is nothing but our expression, and इसी एक्सप्रेशन को आगे ले जाने के लिए मैं अभी इनवाइट करना चाहूंगा उन ऑथर्स को जिन्होंने फर्स्ट एडिशन के अंदर कंट्रीब्यूट किया है। It is my privilege to invite and briefly introduce the authors to you. बहुतों के आपने नाम सुने होंगे, व्हाट्सएप पे चैट हुई होगी, अंदाजा होगा कि ऐसे हमारे सीनियर्स, कॉलीग्स, जूनियर्स हैं, but I am very happy to introduce all of them. So प्रभात हमारे कॉलीग हैं बैच 2 से, NRLM के साथ काम करते हैं, and welcome Prabhat. He has written briefly on SHG and women empowerment in India. Prabhat, if you can just wave on your screen and be visible on your camera will help. Renu, who is from batch 4 and is talking about a new network economy जो emerge कर रही है. Renu is an Erasmus scholar. बहुत एक interesting सा course उन्होंने पढ़ा है. You can catch up with her later on this. Pleased to welcome Najeesh Farhan. He is from the first batch of PGDM RM. He writes on CSR in India. Debotum ने कोविड और टी प्लांटेशन के पे जो टी लाइवलीहुड्स पे जो फर्क पड़ा है उस पे लिखा है. वेलकम टू Najeesh and Debotum. Karthik Chandran Pillai from batch 14 writes about natural farming and agriculture crisis. Welcome Karthik. Also pleased to welcome Manish. मनीष एंड अश्विन दोनों हमारे NIRD के एलुमिनाई हैं जो पहल के साथ सिनोनिमस हो गए हैं। पहल जैसे आप जानते हैं कि NIRD एलुमिनाई द्वारा शुरू किया गया कोविड-19 के अंदर झारखंड रांची डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ एक NGO है और रादर एक इनिशिएटिव है। एंड last but not the least, please welcome Lily Sangpui. Lily is a doctoral student in the University of Mizoram, and she is taking the Look East policy of India ahead and is talking about Act East and not Look East. So with that brief startup lineup, मैं request करूँगा प्रभात से probably जो फर्स्ट राउंड के अंदर हम ब्रीफली 2 या 3 मिनट में अपनी अभिव्यक्ति में जो आर्टिकल में लिखा है वो उसको सबके साथ साझा करें।
Yeah, hello all. Prabhat, batch 2, NIRD, yeah, 2009-10, yeah, if I'm right. Yeah, so like जब ये concept पे हम लोग discuss कर रहे थे, that time there was a thinking like how to go ahead. I mean, in between, like I had a discussion with Vibhu and like what sorts of things we can write as part of first magazine. So as I'm associated with the NRLM and we works with the formation of SHGs, like close to 7 crore households we have mobilized so far, and we are planning to form another. I mean, we are planning to touch this 10 crore rural households, and this is playing important role in context of rural economy, like providing close to 2.7 lakh crore of bank linkage has happened. So much of emphasis is going from Government of India towards boosting the rural economy through the formation of self-help groups. So I thought this may be important for our current batch also while going through this information. This is linked with particularly work of the SRLMs as well as with the NRLM. With this, I am thanking you all. Thank you.
थैंक्स प्रभात। संक्षेप में मुझे लगा था आप 2-3 मिनट और अपने आर्टिकल पे बोलेंगे, बट थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग ब्रीफ। वील कम बैक टू यू। आई थिंक बहुत लोग आपसे प्रभावित भी हैं, बहुत लोग आपसे इन टच में रहते हैं बिकॉज आप NRLM में काफी टाइम से काम कर रहे हो और आपकी पकड़ और आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग का बहुत काबिल तारीफ है। सो प्रभात से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा कार्तिक को कि कार्तिक, why don't we start with you if you can give us key messages and takeaways of your article in Manthan about natural farming, and you know how natural farming today can really change the course of agrarian distress in India.
Thank you, Nanish sir. Thank you, Prabhat sir. I'm Karthik from batch 14. Thanks for the opportunity. And my article is about the agricultural crisis and how natural farming is a possible solution to that. The article is basically written from the perspective of a farmer, how the farmer sees and how and why it is essential to have a systemic shift from the current form of agriculture to a natural or agroecological based agriculture. My article basically touches upon the intricacies and the issues which are caused and which we are suffering from as a result of the chemical aided agriculture, and how it has led to farmer suicides, the vicious cycle of indebtedness which the farmer is unable to escape from, and how it is the whole system has ended up has contributed to the climate change, and why it is essential to shift to natural farming. Also, I have mentioned about how it is possible to farm without chemicals, how integrated farming systems work, how additional income can be generated through natural farming, and what is the importance of indigenous varieties of crops. And also a few points are mentioned about the multi-generational impacts of food insecurity, both qualitatively and quantitatively, and also the contradiction where on one side a huge population is suffering from lack of sufficient food, both micro and macronutrients. And on the other side, there is a growing population of people who are going overweight and obese. And also I mentioned about how natural farming is a solution where we focus on crop diversity and improving the soil carbon content and its ability to protect the soil, the biodiversity, and possibly act as a protection against climate crisis, which we are facing right now. That is in brief what the article is about. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Karthik, for briefly yet very comprehensively giving us an insight on your article. I think the whole country is looking at the experiment of zero budget natural farming, which is taking place in Andhra. I'm sure Mr. T. Vijay Kumar, Professor Muralidhar, and a lot of our alumni are very closely working with the farmers in Andhra to position natural farming as a choice and reduce the agriculture distress. I think what you've shared is very important because on the one hand there is a lot of distress that we are seeing because of market factors, because of the breakage in supply chain, because of a different bargaining power of different actors on one hand. But on the other hand, India now with COVID, India has embarked on doubling the farmer income by 2022. There is a lot of change which is happening in APMC Act. तो जो आप लिख रहे हैं वो काफी इम्पोर्टेंट एक चीज है जिसमें हम सबको नेचुरल फार्मिंग कैसे पोजीशन हो रही है, वापस मेन स्ट्रीम की जा रही है, उसके बारे में जानना जरूरी है. और ये जो एक्सपेरिमेंट आंध्रा में हो रहा है इसको समझना जरूरी है. तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. थैंक यू कार्तिक फॉर दिस. वील कम बैक टू यू विद मोर क्वेश्चंस. आई एम श्योर लॉट ऑफ एल्यूमिनाई विल हैव दीज क्वेश्चंस. तो कार्तिक से आगे बढ़ते हैं. Moving to straight from south to northeast, Lily Sangpui from batch 3. So Lily is, as you are aware, Lily is doing her postdoctoral fellowship, and she's passionately written about the Act East policy. So Lily, over to you. Quick insights to the major points that you're making in your article. Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah, Lily, you're audible. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for having me share my experience. I wrote about East policies. We all those policies was implemented during 1990s as part of India external policy with an aim to strengthen relationship with Southeast Asian countries in the field of security, trade, and energy. However, the challenge remains is that because of the troubled peripheries of the Northeast regions, any policy recommendations are within the discourse of security, and this narrative has intricately positioned the Northeast regions sandwiched between security and development, and this run the risk of potentially marginalizing those those areas which are located at the periphery areas. And but however, looking at Northeast regions, building on the strengths of the Northeast regions, maybe in terms of exotic locations, maybe in terms of orchid and all, and now that connectivity has improved, and with the government implementing Kisan Railway, Kisan Udans, with the shift of the look East policy from Act East policy, the rhetoric call has to be matched not just with the expanding of the zero contours of the policy, but by enacting. So lastly, I would like to conclude that as the practitioners of rural development, how do we traverse and how do we view the spatial disparity that exists in the regions, which eventually widen the gaps of development? Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. I think what is important, therefore, is and I think this happens for all the border regions, because uh, uh, unless and until young people are able to partner development, bring new ideas, and help to build society, I think it becomes a huge challenge. So I feel it's young people like you, it's young people who can bring in that nuance, who understand the macroeconomic context of development, but also are cognizant about the local realities and how we need to probably take everyone along. uh, आगे जाने से पहले, thank you, Lily, for sharing this. I think we'll have many questions. Aruna shared his comment. We'll have many questions around Northeast and Act East policy that you've argued in your article. आगे जाने से पहले मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा कि आज हम बहुत दिनों के बाद एक दूसरे से मिल रहे हैं, साझा हो रहे हैं अभिव्यक्ति में, मंथन की बातें कर रहे हैं, तो जो लोगों के पास बैंडविड्थ है वो लोग अपने अगर वीडियोस ऑन रख सकें, ताकि और अपने नाम और अपने बैचेस को रीनेम कर लें, अपने नाम को विद योर नेम एंड बैच एंड वेयर यू आर. It will be good for everyone to probably put a face to each other, and भी हम सब लोग एक दूसरे को जान भी पाएंगे और थोड़ा सा कर पाएंगे. तो आगे बढ़ते हैं. लिली के बाद लेट मी इनवाइट Najeesh Farhan. So Najeesh has written about CSR in India. Over to you, Najeesh. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So first of all, I would like to thank all the alumni members and editorial team. So like I'm part of the Medan, this newly started Manthan e-magazine. So, and especially I want to thank Bibu Mishra sir, like he was helping me to point out, like provided many insights for the article. So with this, I would like to start, like the topic of my article is CSR in India. It gives a brief picture about the CSR from medieval times till recent developments and what are the way forwards. So I wish to start with the quote which says, like, money can be yours, but the resources is of the society. So the basic principle of CSR revolves around this, like money can be yours and the resources is of society. So in the article deals basically in the first part, it deals with the historical parts, like it says from Vedic periods to it can be like traced from the history, like in Vedic period, businesses used to opt for the practice of donations and charity. And till recent times, where business houses like Tata and all, so they are from last 100 years, they are in the field of philanthropic activities. So it gives a brief picture about historical aspects of CSR. And coming to that, the timeline goes to 2013, and from there it gets a proper framework under Companies Act 2013, where it gives several legislations about the 3 points which make companies to qualify for CSR spending, and that 2% of net profit has to be spent on CSR activities. So all these aspects have been introduced have been dealt with the second part of this thing. And then comparative analysis of data has been done, like when CSR was not mandatory, what was the spending of top 100 business houses, and after it has been made mandatory, what is the spending. So we can see a clear graph, it is going up and up. So that is one thing, comparative analysis has been done. And moving forward, that recently on March 23 with this COVID outbreak, so how CSR spendings have been compiled with this COVID-19 thing, that is also been included in that. And in way forward section at the end, in conclusion part, it is like the companies should be proactively accountable and they should practice some disclosure norms such as annual reports, sustainability reports. So all these things, like how way forward a company can be more and more into the field of CSR spending, and they can be a major game changing player, like what can better be done by the CSR firms in the field of social development. So all these things, and then their adherence to the many CSR principles like BRR principle and the triple bottom line, which says like the company should be more affirmed to help the people, planet, and last they should be looking for profit aspect of the firm. So all these things have been dealt in brief in this article. So that was my part on this. Thank you.
Thanks, Najish. So if anyone has questions, they can put it on the chat. Our team members will respond on the chat for any questions. And for questions to, and these could be questions to the contributors of the magazine also, which we will take after we are done with the first round. So आगे बढ़ते हुए also thank you for all those who started their videos. जो लोग अभी भी वीडियो ऑन करने से संकोच कर रहे हैं, मेरा रिक्वेस्ट होगा अगर बैंडविड्थ आपको अलाउ करती है तो आप काइंडली अपना वीडियोस दें और ऑन रखें और अपना नाम और को रीनेम करें बैच के साथ, ताकि सब लोग एक दूसरे को पहचान सकें. आगे बढ़ते हुए मैं रिक्वेस्ट
Nanish भैया, when you all of a sudden told to turn the video on, थोड़ा जाके मेकअप करना पड़ा.
ठीक है. So I think वो मेकअप वाला चीज नेक्स्ट टाइम कर लेंगे, बट अभी जैसे हम हैं as rural development practitioners, let's all keep the video on. Thank you for that, Krishna. Moving on, I'll request Debu to share on a very specific topic on COVID and how it is impacting livelihoods, especially tea livelihoods, on which he is written. Over to you, Debu.
Thank you, Nanish sir. First of all, good evening to every one of you.
Debu, can you be a little louder? थोड़ी आपकी आवाज.
Am I audible?
Yeah, अब ठीक है.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Hold the mic close to your mouth.
Yeah, actually, good evening, everyone. I'm Debottam. I'm originally from Assam. Right now, posted at Andhra Pradesh. My topic was moreover reflecting around the impact of tea industry, which has suffered due to this COVID-19. Initially, that topic just popped in when I was sipping morning tea in one of my lockdown mornings. Then an idea struck me that why people are not talking about tea sector, plantation sector, which is also one of the major contributors of country's GDP. Then tea being our national drink, and also when all other industries like transport, hospitality, restaurant, and then the skill sector, then but nobody's talking about plantation, where nearly, if I roughly estimate, around 20 million workers are associated with plantation sector, irrespective of tea, coffee, and other crops. Tea, I have pointed out tea because its major export market is the European market. And in Europe, when COVID crisis was at its worst phase, the market has suffered a lot. And the tea product which are produced and sent through auctions, prices were coming down, and due to which the management were unable to manage their tea estates, plantation estates, where because when different industries are focusing on artificial intelligence, then automation, but this plantation sector is largely dependent on manual workers. Your technical expertise is a direct determinant of the quality of your tea you are having. And tea market is largely governed by quality, price, and labor. And these laborers are not very highly educated. Most of them are Adivasi or other backward classes, so who are working on daily wage basis. So the payment which are made to them on weekly basis, which is a mostly cash transaction. So in that case, when this sector has a lot of advancement needed right now, with COVID striking in place, they have lost their peak season. Normally, if I'm not wrong, April or May month is the peak time when you get your first revenue, which determines the entire course for remaining part of the year. But जब March and April में जब lockdown announce किया गया, in that time the go downs were filled with tea leaves. उसमें फिर उसका management, then its liabilities were increasing. So in that case, I just wanted to highlight the idea that policymakers associated with this sector needs to revise the policy and decision-making process. There is a need to forecast demand of tea products and the policy implications related with it. So it's just a thought-provoking article. So I just tried to highlight. Yeah, that's it from my side.
Thanks, Debu, for this. I think it definitely, as you said this, it strikes me that tea, being a national drink, probably has not got so much of limelight, and especially the challenge in rural livelihoods, tea plantations, etc. In case of lockdown. Thank you for such a thoughtful piece of article.
Thank you.
I think people, in addition to writing their professional experiences, can also write about their personal experiences, and a lot of articles in the magazine. Many contributors have also written about their own personal experiences. And moving forward, let me invite Renu from Batch 4 to talk about her article of the new economy. Yeah.
Thank you, Nanesh sir. Good evening, everyone. I'm Renu Sharma. I'm a Batch 4 student. Currently, I'm based in Delhi, working with the Dharmalai Foundation. I have been approached to contribute to this e-magazine by one of my friend, Bibhu Mishra ji, who is the leader of this team who has been working on this e-magazine. And we all know that it has taken a lot of hard work from the team side. I'm really sorry, Bibhu Mishra ji, we couldn't contribute much to this magazine. I tried my bit with this article, which you hardly got on time. Anyways, so my topic was sharing economy, and I wrote about it that it is a new normal. I'll talk about it later, that why it is a new normal. But let me just talk about this topic, what this sharing economy is. So basically, we all know that this is a peer-to-peer sharing goods and services, where there's not only the concept is not only limited to sellers and the consumers. It is a business between the consumers and between the consumers. Like there's one consumer who is having access to cheap and easy access to the goods which are owned by the other consumers, which could have been otherwise would stand idle. So this topic, like it came out in the picture when the entire world was facing this great recession in 2008. So the companies like Airbnb, TaskRabbit, these companies came up with this idea, and now it has become a normal part of our life. It has become a very, very, like we don't live without this now. Especially, I guess, the people who are living in the urban areas or the suburban now, because it has reached to the suburbans now, they can relate it to, like, look at the kind of services we have, Ola, Uber, Oyo, Swiggy, Zomato. All these are the concepts of economy, where you are like the different sellers, different consumers are coming to one platform and accessing the service on a cheaper rate, and like you are using this product to the optimal level of its strength. So why I chose this topic, because this topic is now becoming part of our life. That is one. Another thing is, there are many things which sharing economy is contributing to the circular economy. And three things which I really like about this topic are, Like one is optimal use of resources. We already have very limited resources, and we all are development professionals. We know that we always talk about sustainable development, and we have certain kind of goals, we have certain kind of timelines which we have to meet. We have to correct some of the things which we have been doing for quite long. So this is one of the concept. It might not be the ultimate answer for everything, but it is in a like in a very small kind of contribution is it is doing towards a sustainable development. I'll tell you how. So this is like one, what I talked about, optimal use of resources. Like you all know OLX. Like for example, I don't like my TV or fridge. I can just set it on OLX and somebody else can use it. Whoever is in need of that product or whoever can afford that product, they can use it. So that product is not being just thrown after a single use. It is customers and they are using it multiple times. So which is actually showing us like the optimal use of the resources. It is we don't have to own all the resources whatever we need. Like for example, I need a car to travel from one part of the city to the another part of the city. At this time, especially in a metro city like Delhi, I don't have to think about to have an old car. Like keep aside corona situation, we are trying to avoid public transport and all that, but still it gives me an opportunity, it gives me an option that I can have my own car. I can go with that kind of comfort from one part of the city to another part of the city without owning that resource. So I'm just lending this product from another customer, I'm just paying it to him. So it's basically a benefit to both the parties. I am getting the product whenever I need it, and the other person is also getting money out of it. So second part is connectivity. Sharing economy has opened a platform to different kind of sellers, different kind of consumers. You don't have to stick to one segment now. You can take anything and come to this platform. You can sell to any kind of customer. Now your customers or your sellers are not limited to one segment. You can bring it, like internet has definitely done a like great job in terms of connectivity, but the sharing economy, especially in the terms of business and economics, it is doing great work. The way it is connecting now, you can take the example of Airbnb. For example, a customer coming from US or UK to India, and I have a property, I own a property, I can lend it to the person. I can show it on the OYO, or I can show it on Airbnb, and the person from US or UK, they can book it if they want a separate apartment or something like that. So it is like opening a wide scope for different kind of sellers, different kind of customers, different kind of consumers. And the third part is the flexibility. This is the only economy which has, given us kind of flexibility. Like I'll share a very recent example. Like in lockdown, Swiggy, Zomato, their business, these are the food apps. I'm sure you all know these apps. Their business was shut down. So what Swiggy did, like they collaborated with different kind of superstores, their grocery stores around, and then they started delivering to the people their essential services, their groceries, their other essential services which they needed. So this is how these platforms, you are not like this, especially like in the lockdown area, many of these companies who has been working in one domain, they shifted to the another. So it is creating an example like how you like sharing economy is giving you that kind of flexibility, which is so much required in today's scenario. So that's why I say it has become a new normal. It is a new normal thing for us, and like the kind of things, that kind of policies, kind of systems are changing with the time, which we might have not thought about earlier, but now it's like becoming a normal thing, and we are not even realizing that so much has been changed. So that's all I have written in the topic. I hope you all enjoy it. Okay, good luck. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity to speak, and I'm sorry if I taken so much time. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Renu. I think it is a new normal, and बहुत आसानी से टेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू ये नई इकोनॉमी आई थिंक बन चुकी है, फेसलेसनेस हो गई है, प्लेटफॉर्म्स बन रहे हैं, एंड आई थिंक गिग इकोनॉमी इसको क्या कहा जा रहा है बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट टॉपिक पे आपने बात किया है। गिग इकोनॉमी बहुत डिफरेंट है पुरानी इकोनॉमी से। बहुत सारे लोग स्विगी के लिए काम करते हैं बट दे डोंट नो दैट दे वर्क, सो देयर इज नॉट फिजिकल कोहेजन नहीं होता है, एंड देयरफॉर बार्गेनिंग पावर एंड इन लोगों के कितने इनकम्स एंड बेनिफिट्स कैसे कवर होते हैं, बहुत से डेवलपमेंटल इश्यूज इम्पैक्ट है। फॉर एग्जांपल ओला उबर को बहुत सी governments अभी भी उनको they don't recognize them as taxi companies because they are actually platforms and therefore they are banned even to operate. तो बहुत important इसके developmental dimensions हैं, especially जो लोग काम कर रहे हैं gig economy में, shared economy में। बहुतों को इंश्योरेंस नहीं है, बहुत लोग अभी भी ऑर्गेनाइज नहीं है। while there is a lot of freedom that people get, but डेवलपमेंटल इम्पैक्ट को बहुत क्लोजली देखना पड़ेगा। थैंक यू फॉर शेयरिंग दिस आर्टिकल रेनू। मनीष का एक मैसेज आया दैट ही इज ड्रॉपिंग बिकॉज ऑफ हिज कनेक्टिविटी इश्यूज। मनीष, आप हैं हमारे साथ? Okay, we'll wait for him to come back. I think he sent me a text that उनकी connectivity issues की वजह से वो बार-बार drop कर रहे हैं. But Manish, as you all are aware,
Yeah,
Manish,
I'm here, sir.
you are here. Wonderful, welcome. So Manish,
Thank you.
yeah. So पहल के बारे में चर्चा किया जाए। आपकी जुबानी पहल की अभिव्यक्ति कीजिए। Over to you.
So hi all. So this is Manish. I'm from batch 8, and reason behind. So you might have seen few of posts done even by me, by Nainish sir on the group. So it all happened like so I have mentioned the same how it actually started and what was happening in Pahal during the COVID. So this was the time in March. I was there in the alumni meet, and after that I came to Jharkhand. And basically, I was looking for entrepreneurial opportunity to start up with, and I was identifying problems during the time. And meanwhile, this lockdown happened on, I think, 23rd or 24th, it started. Then I was looking, okay, fine. So now whether everything is going to be shut down for me, even because COVID was not, I was not seeing an end for COVID. So I thought, okay, fine, I have to work in this space, and development is all about working in the worst situations. So that is my strat. Let us start. So what to do? So I felt, okay, the biggest crisis is COVID, and thousands of people are walking on the road and they don't have food even to work with. And being a development professional, this is
I think is anyone else able to hear? या शायद मैं सुन नहीं पा। Okay. So I think we'll wait for Manish to join, but we can open up now for any questions or that people, team members may have. You can put it onto the chat or probably raise your hand, and we could come to you. Yeah. And अगर इजाजत हो तो हम 15 मिनट से ये सेशन थोड़ा बढ़ाना चाहेंगे। 4:55 हुआ है, 5 बजे तक के लिए हमने बजट किया था, बट अगर सब लोग ओके हैं तो we'll expand for around another 10-15 minutes so that people can also share their suggestions, feedback, and ask questions. Okay, so we'll extend it by 10-15 minutes. So you can type in your questions. I think I had a question for Farhan. Farhan, कोविड के चलते हुए क्या टाइप का चैलेंजेस आप देख रहे हैं CSR सेक्टर में आता हुआ? बिकॉज काफी जगह पढ़ रहे हैं कि PM केयर्स में सारी CSR फंडिंग जा चुकी है, तो बहुत सारे NGO सेक्टर में जो लोग काम कर रहे थे या जो बहुत सारे इनिशिएटिव्स चल रहे थे, कुछ स्टडी आपने उस पे भी किया है क्या, या कैन यू शेयर समथिंग ऑन दैट?
हेलो सर।
या फरहान?
यस सर, सर कुड यू प्लीज रिपीट सर, थोड़ा नेटवर्क इशू है।
हाँ फरहान, सो अभी जो CSR सिनेरियो चेंज हुआ है PM केयर्स और कोविड की वजह से, तो उससे आप क्या देख रहे हैं कि CSR के अंदर क्या क्या बदलाव और चेंजेस आप देख रहे हैं जो आएंगी बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड? बहुत से NGOs के प्रोजेक्ट्स उनको नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं, तो आपने जो अपना स्टडी किया या लिखा है उसमें आप what are your views on this?
यस सर, सर डेफिनेटली सर, ये जो फंड CSR के जो फंड्स थे उनका जब ये PM केयर्स पे इसको डाइवर्ट किया गया, तो एक फाइनेंशियल प्रॉब्लम तो NGOs और CSR के साथ सर डेफिनेटली है ही। तो वो एक मेजर कंसर्न है ये CSR फंडिंग को लेकर कि जैसे जो कंपनीज थी जिनके जो NGOs थे जिनकी फंडिंग NGO के साथ सॉरी जो CSR के साथ पार्टनरशिप पे चलती थी, तो वो एक इशू है, एरिया ऑफ कंसर्न है सर। तो वो PM केयर्स पे जो फंड गए हैं उसको लेकर एक कंसर्न बना हुआ है सर। जैसे जितने भी अपन ने ये आर्टिकल्स देखे थे या रिसेंट जो न्यूज़ है उन पे ये एक कंसर्न है कि मतलब ये जो CSR स्पेंडिंग है इसको लेकर, तो वो एक एरिया ऑफ कंसर्न है सर। वो मतलब उसको इनका अपकमिंग टाइम सर उसको कैसे देखना है, वो आने वाले समय पे ही बेटर पता चल पाएगा, बेटर पिक्चर आने वाले समय पे ही मिलेगा सर कि हाउ द अदर NGOs like who are partnering with CSRs to get their fundings for their work, so how they are coping up with this as of now। मतलब ऐसा कोई अदर अल्टरनेटिव सर यही है कि मतलब वो अगर जैसे उनके जो अदर मतलब फंडिंग सोर्सेस थे वहीं से वो लोग चला रहे हैं, तो अभी तक का सर ये जो मतलब स्टेटस है अभी तक का तो यही है सर कि कुछ NGOs के साथ जिनका मेजर पार्ट CSR फंडिंग से ही चलता था, वो सर एक इशू है।
Got it. तो मेरा दूसरा क्वेश्चन प्रभात पे के साथ है। प्रभात, अभी प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण जो योजना है इसके अंदर काफी माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स वापस गए हैं, तो हाउ इज NRLM एंड SRLM लुकिंग एट ये जो नया जो प्रेशर आएगा रूरल एरियाज में? क्या कोई स्टडी है जिससे पता चल रहा है कि कितने लोगों के लिए नए SHGs, क्या कैसे आप उनके स्किल मैपिंग और उनको लोन्स प्रोवाइड करेंगे ऐसे और उनको इसमें लाएंगे, और क्या थिंकिंग है NRLM में विद रिस्पेक्ट टू जो अभी कोविड में माइग्रेंट वर्कर्स वापस गए हैं?
Yeah, yes, thank you, sir. So, on regard with Garib Kalyan Yojana, recently the Ministry of Rural Development, I can say about the part of Ministry of Rural Development, the initiative is being taken. So, one is like we are approving, especially with the Bimaru states, wherever the migrant workers they are returning to their homes. So, one is the special projects we are sanctioning. So, under this World Bank supported projects, this provision is available, and tomorrow we are going to have meeting, whereas all approvals will be given to the state in line with like the proposal they have submitted for the welfare of the returning workers. So this is the one component जहाँ पे ministry direct special projects का window open किया है ताकि हम उसको finance कर सकें. Second component इस गरीब कल्याण योजना के बारे में अगर हम बात करें तो तकरीबन 116 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, अगर ये मेरा फिगर सही है, तो उन डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में एक स्पेशल फोकस दिया जा रहा है जिसमें जो डिफरेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स इसमें लिस्टेड हैं, जिसमें रूरल डेवलपमेंट की बात करें तो सेक्रेटरी रूरल डेवलपमेंट इसका रिव्यू कर रहे हैं। और अगर NRLM पर्टिकुलरली अगर हम बात करें तो एक हमारा RFCIF का कंपोनेंट होता है जहां पर हम SHGs को फाइनेंस करते हैं। तो एक अभी करेंट टारगेट है जो भी एलिजिबिलिटीज है इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स की, जैसे मैं अगर बिहार की बात करूं तो 32 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स इसमें लिस्टेड है, यूपी की बात करें तो क्लोज टू नंबर ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स यूपी में भी हैं। इन पर्टिकुलरली इन स्टेट्स में जो भी प्रोग्राम प्रोविजंस हैं उसको प्रायोरिटी पर एड्रेस करने का प्रयास किया जा रहा है। साथ साथ स्किल मैपिंग पे एक ग्रेट फोकस दिया जा रहा है। अगर मैं बिहार की बात करूं या अगेन यूपी या झारखंड की हम बात करें तो उनके पास जितने वर्कर्स जो रिटर्न आए हैं सबका उन्होंने रिकॉर्ड बनाया है, स्किल मैपिंग की जा रही है और उससे रिलेटेड लाइक DDGKY प्रोग्राम की अगर हम बात करें तो वहां से उनको स्किल उनका डेवलपमेंट किया जाएगा। और लोकल अगर कुछ वो स्टार्ट करना चाहते हैं, अगर प्रोग्राम NRLM के तहत अगर उनको सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप्स बनाया जाना, प्लस उसके साथ साथ उनको RFNCIF दिया जाना ताकि उस पैसे के साथ वो कुछ लाइवलीहुड क्रिएट कर सके, तो विद इन प्रोविजन इसको एज अ प्रायोरिटी के रूप में मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट परस्यू कर रही है। MG नरेगा की बात करें तो सभी ग्राम पंचायत को एक स्पेशल फोकस दिया गया है। जो भी वर्कर्स हैं, एक तो उनका जॉब कार्ड आप ओपन करेंगे, साथ साथ आप उनको जो भी काम चाहिए उस मैंडेट जनरेट करके आप उसको वर्क प्रोवाइड करेंगे। तो ये एक पर्टिकुलरली कुछ फोकस है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ रूरल डेवलपमेंट का इन रिस्पॉन्स टू COVID-19। Yes, thank you.
Got it. Thank you. Deepa also wants to come in. Deepa, please.
Yeah, hi. So I just wanted to ask a question because it's like question and answer round. So I wanted to ask Renu when she talks about the sharing economy, and then we talked about the internet has helped a lot and Airbnb और ये सारी चीजों पे बात करते हैं. Then we see कि there are two scenarios when COVID-19 and demonetization. जिस time पे like the subsistence marketplace has affected a lot. तो जो हमारा इनफॉर्मल मार्केट है, जो लोकल मार्केट है, जो लोग ऑलरेडी, तो अभी कोविड-19 के टाइम का एग्जांपल वैसी कि जो एप्स जिस पे हम बहुत डिपेंडेंट थे, they like just stop delivering at our doorstep. So we are back to the people, the local grocery or the local people है उनके ही पास हम जाना शुरू किएंगे. तो ये पूरे सिनेरियो का how she looks at, what is her view or her take on this करके.
So Renu, additional question on this, another question from Karthik is that how can the sharing economy concept, I mean related to it is how can the sharing economy concept help the rural sector? Yeah.
Okay. See, sharing economy has always been Indian culture. Like it has been brought by different people like outsiders from Western countries. But if you look at the rural settings, we always like the rural people, they always borrow different people's like पड़ोसियों का कुछ बोरो कर लिया या किसी गांव में कोई एक चीज है जिसको रेंटल बेस पे यूज करते हैं. दिस कॉन्सेप्ट हैज ऑलवेज बीन इन इंडियाज फैब्रिक. सो अभी ये एक चीज ये है. दूसरा चीज रूरल एरियाज में स्पेशली कैसे आप इसको देख रहे हो, अभी तो इसका जितना भी पेनिट्रेशन है अर्बन एरिया में हुआ है एंड इट हैज बीन क्वाइट सक्सेसफुल एंड द सबर्ब में इट हैज एंटर्ड इन लास्ट 4-5 years. रूरल एरियाज में अभी तक चीजें गई नहीं है, बट आई विल टेल यू लाइक these different kind of platforms they have started, especially in the tourism sector. Even in tourism sector, when it comes to Stayzilla, Airbnb, or there are so many other apps where you are looking for some kind of place to live in. In the tourism sector, it has reached to the areas where we were not getting access to hotels or something. So people have started giving these places on rent or something. Especially you will see it in Uttarakhand. You will see some part of it in MP and even in Uttar Pradesh. But it has not reached in rural areas at a scale. That is one thing. And another thing about this concept, it is like mostly the kind of products they have, it's catering to urban and suburb community. So that is one thing. So rural areas, when we are penetrating into the rural areas, we have to take the products which are required or which are demanded at the rural areas, then we can penetrate. But looking at the scenario, what we have in the sharing economy at this time, there's not much for the rural sector. That is one. Another thing, what ma'am has said, Deepa ma'am has raised, that during COVID-19 situation, many of the apps had stopped delivering to us. Yeah, it's a very different kind of situation which we I don't know, even our previous generation has faced this kind of situation earlier. It's a very different situation where we don't even want to, like, especially in my house, we are buying vegetables or something, we wash it. We keep it outside for some time, we wash it. So it's a very different thing. Like in this scenario, everything is related to our behavior. We don't want to get into any something, or we don't just want to take or touch anything through which we can get coronavirus. So like the kind of apps which were delivering to us, they were mostly like foods. But the other things which the other apps were delivering to us, like our essential services, food, raw food and all that, that kept on delivering to us. Ola, Uber, they had to stop because there was no movement. That is one. Yes, it as part of the consumer side, I know it has hampered, like lockdown has hampered a lot of us, but on the business side, it has been quite a shock for all the people who has been like investors who have invested in that, invested in this. So that's what I can say at this time, that because we cannot just put all the blames on this, like things has, because it's a very different kind of situation. Somewhere we also want to keep ourselves away from these things for some time. Even the situation is quite better at my place at this time, but we still don't want to order food from outside. So for as a consumer, it's not affecting me as much, but yes, it is affecting to that person who was having this business, or is actually hampering them quite a lot on the business side. But we'll figure out, like this has been a new thing. This work from office is a new culture, so we are getting into new things, we're adopting it, normalizing these things. So I hope we'll get into something, or we'll figure out something, how, if such kind of unprecedented situation comes up, so how will we deal that. As of now, I don't think there is any kind of way people have figured out, especially for the sharing economy platform. Third one, Nanish sir, you mentioned about like there are a lot of problems about regarding the sharing economy. Yeah,
Renu, you will have to be brief because there are many questions pouring in for all of this, and we have to close by 5:15. So next 30 seconds for you.
Okay, I will I'll respond to your point when you mentioned that there is a lot of problem with the sharing economy platforms as well. Yeah, because they don't have physical infrastructure, and problem is related to the tax digital, like the taxing, like how you would tax them. So they don't have physical infrastructure, so you can't tax them. So government and even like the organizations, even the international organizations are thinking about it, like how we can formalize these things, because once you start taxing them, you will start giving some kind of share to them in the market. So that is another problem. It's a both hand problem from the government side. They need to figure out what we can do with these platforms, and these organizations also. But I guess government will come up with something, because it's a new thing, it's an innovation which has come up in last few years, and we have to somewhere accept it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Correct. So I'll come to you, Venkanna. Before that, there is this question by Rituraj on what is the impact of COVID on SME. And I'll request Arunabh to quickly in 30 seconds share what is the major impact of COVID on SME, Arunabh Sarma. And then we'll request Venkanna to talk about the PMEGP program, the Prime Minister Employment Guarantee Program. Venkanna is from Batch 1 and works with Bank of Baroda, and he'd like to shed some light on that. So Arunabh, can you quickly come on and share some impact on SMEs that you are seeing?
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Nanish. Although I do not have much of data available in front of me, but the impact has been huge, starting from the slump in demand and eventually supply disruptions because of the lockdown imposed due to COVID-19. The impact has been huge. And according to some of the studies we did across states, what we have observed is supply disruptions, slump in demand. Number 3, because of non-payment of most of the SMEs. SMEs lot of them are dependent on big industries or the government for their supplies, for their products. So non-payment and delayed payment becomes a huge issue for them. That has been a major observation across. A lot of studies says that. And apart from that, maybe I can share a few links and articles which ENY, the organization I work with, we did, so that we can get to know what the exact. It's a huge. SME is huge. It's a large gamut. Manufacturing, definitely before Corona also they were suffering a lot because of the slump in the market. The services sector, I can share a few articles maybe going forward.
Thanks. So we actually, I think it is a good segue to Venkarna, who will talk about largely the fiscal incentives that the banks are trying to do and PMEGP. So over to you, Venkarna. Please share about what employment PMEGP is trying to do during these times.
Yeah, first, good afternoon to everyone. And first of all, I would congratulate to everyone, and especially the team which has created it, Mr. President Sir, and all other team. And also, basically, I'm from Andhra. I'm working in Bank of Baroda and Gujarat. See, I would like to mention only schemes which are helping for the rural people. One is, as President Ji Bola, it is PMEGP. As everybody knows the guidelines of PMEGP, particularly it is for only for employment guarantee scheme. I would like to know after this my speak how whether really grassroots level it is affecting, or whether subsidy is being properly catered to their accounts, or any implementation difficulties from the bank side is being faced by our professionals and for the public. And basic another which I would like to tell you, recently started PMJJY. It is insurance scheme initiated by the minister. It has
Is everyone able to hear? Okay. So I think we've lost Venkarna. We are actually short on time. There are many questions, friends, that you are posting. For example, Sajda has asked Karthik about how agriculture sector is being badly hit. Mohammad Shoaib Sheikh, batch 14, Madhubani, is asking a very important question on remigration of labors and basically, interoperability of benefits. कि वो राशन कार्ड एक जगह का है बट दूसरी जगह नहीं मिल पा रहा है, और स्कीम्स बेसिकली बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट एक इशू है, वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड एंड इंटरऑपरेटेबिलिटी का बात चल रहा है. आर्यन मोदक ने बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन ऑन पब्लिसिटी प्लेटफॉर्म फ्रॉम एसएचजी प्रोडक्ट्स के बारे में बात किया है. सो आई एम नॉट श्योर कि ये सारे टॉपिक्स हम आज की इस चर्चा में ले पाएंगे. आई थिंक हमने वी हैड अ गुड चैट टुडे. We would like to request all of you to keep sharing your feedback about Manthan and Abhivyakti. These are the initiative. These are your initiatives that we all have to take forward. And just the way the teams have, stick their neck up and worked hard despite their own personal and professional commitments. We would request all of you to be a part of it. It is important that the current membership drive is also on. We've been sharing it on email, so you can sign up to the Alumni Association also in the month of August. I would request Karthik or Mahidhar to make any announcements, or if Deepa or Bibu have some final comments, and then we could hand over to Chandranshu, who's been a real force for helping the association get its legal structure and doing all the legwork of all the documentation. So over to quickly Deepa or Bibhu, if there are any final comments, and to Karthik and Mahidhar, if there are any announcements that you would like to make for the team, and then to Chandranshu.
Okay.
Just to
Sure. Vibhu, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So just to tell you another important story about the magazine. So we all know the designer for our magazine is Kuldeep, and Kuldeep is like a very dedicated person. मेरे से भी ज़्यादा dedicated था वो पूरा magazine को out करने के लिए. तो कल रात को वो 12:30 बजे एक बार फोन करता है. मैं सो गया था almost. फोन करके बोलता है कि अरे सर वो क्या चेंजेस है आप एक बार देख के बताओ. मैंने कहा यार देख लिया ना, कितने बार चेंजेस देखना है. नहीं एक बार फिर से वापस देखो और फिर से बताओ. मैंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है चलो देख लेते हैं. देखा हमने एक एरर था उसमें पेज नंबर में. चलिए ठीक है वो भी हो गया, वो भी सही कर लिया. फिर मैंने 12:30 बजे उठा, लैपटॉप ऑन किया, फिर से सारे पेजेस देखे, फिर से वो किया. सुबह 4:45 बजे फिर से फोन किया कि सर मैं फाइनल फाइल आपको भेज रहा हूँ और आप जरा एक बार फिर से देख लो कि उसमें कोई गलती तो नहीं है. वो इतना डेडिकेशन है और इतने रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी के साथ वो काम कर रहा है कि जो मैगजीन आज बाहर जा रहा है वो एकदम एग्जैक्ट परफेक्ट कंडीशन में सही तरीके से जाए. So like I would like specially thank him for all the commitment and for all the hard work that he did, and he had to travel today, he had to drive today, and उसके अलावा I think ये तीसरी या चौथी रात की जो पूरी रात जग कर उसने काम किया. So thank you Kuldeep, and then the rest of the vote of thanks I would leave it to Chandranshu. Yeah, over to you Deepa. Yeah.
Thank you. So I just wanted to say कि ठीक है, Nanish has like braved and it was really nice जो भी हमारे contributors थे उनको सुनना. So request है, it's just a request कि when the team जो alumni association के लोग हैं या जो अभी अभिव्यक्ति and मंथन हम इसको बहुत ही dedication के साथ लेके बढ़ रहे हैं, few people have volunteered. So when we share in the groups we expect कि थोड़ा सा feedback वहाँ मिले या input मिले so that कि हमें भी समझ में आए कि how we are going करके. So कई बार ऐसा लगता है क्योंकि people are not responding. I don't know whether people are accepting it or not accepting it, or people are getting it, और उन तक वो बात पहुंच रही है और ये उनके लिए है या उनके साथ है या उनके थ्रू है, वो कैसा है वो थोड़ा समझ नहीं आता. So yesterday मैं 50-60 लोगों का just sending personal messages कि कैसे है थोड़ा देखने के लिए ना. So I just wanted कि be more proactive, be more involved, and we want all of us to work together. That's it. Thank you.
So in case there are no announcements from Karthik or Mahidhar, I think Mahidhar has just posted, I'll hand it over to Chandranshu.
Yeah, thank you Nanish sir. So my dear friends, as we like end the event, I would like to mention that these 75 minutes were extremely useful, and this time I somewhere feel is not only dedicated to the release of Manthan and the launch of Abhivyakti, but it somewhere gives me jitters of happiness and feeling of accomplishing new milestones. And so the idea of magazine was on our mind from long time, as Vibhu had also mentioned, and this journey which he mentioned has been quite interesting, and I'm sure that all of you had joined, all of you had enjoyed making this this session of making the magazine. And I would like to congratulate Vibhu Mishra and the editing team for taking up this mammoth task in hand. The editing team constitutes Ms. Deepa Gupta, Bhima Shankar Shetkar, Karthik Ramadas, Saurav Malik, and this inaugural edition of our magazine has been possible because of the interest and dedicated effort of all the 19 contributing authors also. And we in like all of you have heard their views on various topics on which they have written their articles in this magazine. We hope that you would like all these articles, and we would also be happy if all the authors and the editing team actually receives a lot of feedback to improve for the next versions, for the next editions. So, and we are extremely thankful to Kuldeep, who had worked in designing this magazine. We also extend special thanks to Arunabh Sharma, Miss Lily Sangpoe, Karthik Pillai, Rashmika V, Rashika Sharma, Aparna Bhumi for all their contribution. We must also acknowledge Ms. Deepa Gupta and her team's effort in bringing out the webinar series Abhivyakti. Rituraj, Jaina, Sajda, Zeenat, Shubham, and Shashidhar were the actual enablers of this series. This is one more, I would say that this is one more feather in the cap of our association now. And we would request all the alumni to like and join the pages which we have on social media handles. Friends, I would also like to mention that we are very much indebted to our alma mater, National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Hyderabad. I would like to thank the institution, Office of Director General, Office of Deputy Director General for all the support they have been providing to the Alumni Association in progressing further. And our special thanks to the whole CPGS team for standing by our side for all the formal and informal support which we require from time to time. And we would also like to extend regards to each and every teacher for being the torch bearers in motivating us to collectivize and work as an alumni association. Last but not the most important, we thank all the alumni who took the time to come online over the weekend, and they gave their time to make this great event. You all are an example of an exemplary audience. We are looking forward to utilize the positive vibes, enormous energy, and the dynamism of all the association members in near future. Thank you so much.
तो इसी के साथ आज की अभिव्यक्ति खत्म करते हैं. Thank you all for joining and hope to see you again in the next series. Stay tuned and keep watching.